Welcome back to Rain World. In the previous episode, Hunter took a breather atop the Five Pebbles superstructure before being met with some minor assistance and some majorly troubling news. In this episode, this is the one that every single one of you has been waiting for. Welcome to the Chimney Canopy, the home ground of vultures and king vultures alike. And I promise there will be plenty more chaos added into the pot than just those airborne assholes. Chimney Canopy has it all. Just about every type of lizard, scavenger colonies that roam the various types of scaffolding, ambush predators at every corner, and a plethora of bottomless pits to wash away all of an unfortunate slug's hard-earned progress. Now, many of you may remember that Hunter already crossed paths with this region back in episode 3. This long bridge serves as the connection between the Sky Islands and the Wall. But this time, Red's destination lies far beneath the colossal towers and decaying steel bridges. While so much of this playthrough has taken place up in the sky, the mission calls for a descent down to ground level. And already, the Chimney Canopy has decided to throw hands. The white lizard here has the right idea. You see Vulture, you run. Take a moment, come back, and congratulations, now there's 3 vultures! It's episode 5 now, folks. We're playing a game called Life, and Hunter isn't too fond of this game. Somehow a cyan lizard ended up at the party. Go home, cyan lizard, you're drunk. But in any case, these situations are going to make up the bulk of the hard mode Chimney Canopy experience. Most of the time, it's best to either wait it out or run. Fighting will only get you so far here. Although don't worry, there's going to be plenty of that too. This region is known for its convoluted, maze-like tower sections, and perhaps even more prominently, the open-air breeze that marinates Hunter oh so nicely for a harpoon skewer through the eyes. It's at this point where a Vulture Mask will do little to protect you. Lizards may fear them as much as I do, but King Vulture knows his chickens from his cats. Even when descending quickly, it's easy to get outsped by this bastard. Not that being inside a tower makes Hunter any safer from ambush predators. Well, I'm not exactly sure what that guy was thinking, but being in here reminds me that I haven't spoken much about the various unlocks that are scattered throughout the world. The Downpour DLC to Rain World adds a ton of additional sandbox and arena modes to the game. To unlock stuff to use in those modes, you have to find and touch these hidden nodes scattered throughout each region. Just now, we unlocked the Cyan Lizard for Sandbox mode. Oh, and I'm going to have some fun feeding his ass to a vulture, trust me. I may do some retrospective videos on these different modes at some point, but I'll have to gauge interest and see if I can put some kind of a unique spin on it. As cool as that stuff is, my biggest focus has always been on the main campaigns themselves. I do love the contrast between the interior and exterior sections of the Chimney Canopy. Downpour also added an entire sub-region here that pushes the indoor aesthetic even further, but Hunter is making the wise choice of staying far away from there on this venture. Yes, it's potentially even more treacherous than this hellscape. Hunter prefers to spend a majority of his time outdoors. Oh, hello scavengers. The scavs love hanging out all across this region. If there's any masochistic little monkeys that thrive off living in a total war zone, it's gotta be them, right? Oh, pobrecito little scavenger. Yeah, that's what happens when you decide to throw a party in the wide open. But, well, everyone is kind of freaking out and getting flung around exactly where Hunter needs to go next. Look, I'm not one to shut down a party, but can we mutilate and disembowel each other in like 20 seconds? I have a feeling we're gonna have to go do something about that little funhouse ourselves. Thankfully, this region is littered with the drop spoils of scavengers, and this includes the majestic power of the explosive spear. One use only, but that's often all it takes. If you have the right items on hand, you can also trade with scavengers to get different types of weapons, some of which are even exclusive to their personal stashes. Alright, I've seen enough of whatever's going on down there. Let's add some of our own chaos into the mix. Oh wait, I think that just pissed him off pretty bad. Hubris, thy name is Hunter. Well, folks, there really isn't too much more happening here that I haven't ranted and raved about in episodes past. There will be some new content to discuss later in the video, but my true intent here is to grace you all with the authentic Chimney Canopy experience. This region is all about throwing yourself into the blender and praying that the resulting smoothie tastes more like fruit than blood. I have a little montage cooked up that can speak louder than words. So, without further ado, enjoy Hunter's suffering. Sick freaks. Well, wasn't that just an inspiring turn of events? In any case, folks, Hunter is going to lock in for the rest of this episode. The last thing he needs is to lose too much karma and be unable to pass through the next gate. The solitary towers have become quiet, as I think just about everything is either eating dinner or being eaten for dinner. The chaos is finally broken up by a swarm of batflies and noodleflies roaming around peacefully, and Red isn't one to object. I absolutely adore the steampunk aesthetics of this region, by the way. So many massive gears and great cover scattered around, and structures that remind me of old clock towers. Not to mention that gold-orange sky. Even the threat music has undertones of steam engines in the percussion. James Primate knew exactly how insane this place would come to be. The muted colors of the dark brown tunnels serve as a beautiful contrast to the incomprehensible chaos outside. Not to mention the scattered graffiti that symbolizes the seasons come and past. This game is so gorgeous, man. But after 4 long episodes up in the clouds, Hunter has finally returned to the ground floor. Not that it means this world will be any lighter on its punishment. This brings us to the only biography of this region. Enter the Caramel Lizard. This behemoth, added in the Downpour DLC, is one of the bulkiest lizard types. He's also in the middle of a pretty rough hangover. Yeah, you thought the tongue was freaky. This guy shoots a vile spit that can fly across the entire screen to knock Hunter off of poles. He also has a charge attack that makes the green lizard look like an enraged toddler. While the Caramel Lizard lacks the agility to climb, the high ground isn't safe here. This guy knows how to throw his bulk around, and can leap into the air during his charge for a swift kill on those unprepared. In my experience, this is also one of the fastest types of lizards, as they always seem to outspeed slugcats inside pipes. The only weakness of a caramel lizard is its clumsiness. They tend to stumble around and aren't always accurate with their charges, so try to get behind them and go crazy. It could take quite a few spears to keep this guy down. When I'm at the helm, I take no chances. I'll hit him with like 5 or 6, eat his meat, and then shove another 2 in there just to make sure. Not as annoying as a cyan lizard, but in the wrong place at the wrong time, they're exponentially more deadly. The nice thing about a caramel lizard is how much meat he's got on him. Just one of these guys is worth 10 food pips, enough to completely stuff Hunter on an empty stomach in one go. So if you're desperate for a good hunt, consider this guy a high-risk, high-reward encounter. The different species of this world are locked in a never-ending war to get atop the food chain. You'll constantly see infighting between vultures, scavengers, dropwigs, and lizards. In fact, lizards even have their own territorial natures and dominance values that cause them to infight and hunt each other. This world is brutal, no matter who or what you are, and Hunter is just another meal to most of these bigger baddies. Even creatures that are otherwise docile will want a piece of red sometimes. He just can't catch a break. You do not want to piss off the wrong noodlefly. Imagine going through this entire region, surviving all of nature's apex predators, and dying on the very last screen to a pink mosquito. Hunter almost didn't have to imagine it. Sweet shelter at last. Man, Red really almost lost all of his karma just trying to make the 5-minute trek from top to bottom. At least the next gate is finally upon us. Oh, nice. Even the scavengers can't seem to quite make up their minds about this poor little guy. Sometimes they're friends, and sometimes they're out for blood. And the only way to find out what the vibes are is to approach them first. These guys are not looking to share a drink and talk about their feelings. The war never ends. I honestly feel like these sadistic freak shows deserve each other, so I'm not even going to entertain that one. Well, with all that said, folks, that's about all I have for you for Oh, so you've decided to come crawling back. No, sir. You guys can get nice and cozy out there. Send me a postcard after you've gotten to try out all the exotic flavors of harpoons in this region. But for real, that's about all I have for you for today, folks. The Chimney Canopy fades away from memory, and Hunter moves on to the next leg of his quest. But the scope of this war has only just begun. Welcome to the Industrial Complex.